Shelley Carney and Toby Eunice bring you New Mexico day trips. Visit national parks, monuments, state parks, and historical sites. See the amazing and unique desert vistas of the Land of Enchantment and walk through the visitor centers, museums, and Pueblo ruins with us. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and flavors of New Mexico. Let's have an adventure. Hello and Merry Christmas. I'm your host for tonight, Shelley Carney.
And I'm your other host for tonight, Toby Eunice.
And tonight we're going to be talking about the Turquoise Trail Scenic Byway, National Scenic Byway,
That's
we
right.
traveled along on Monday. And all the holiday decorations we saw in Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of good stuff.
Apparently, we brought some back with us.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
We decorated our.
So we actually had two choices for,
halls.
StreamYard is the platform that we use to stream from the cloud. And so whenever there's a holiday, they provide you these additional overlays that you can use. And they're nice because they'll do one that's themed this way. I'm sure we'll have one for next week when it's New Year's. And they offer you more than one. So we had a choice between the one that you're seeing right now and this one.
Santa doing a little pineapple decorating.
So, we thought we'd go with the start off with that one. The problem is it covers up everything. So I have a hard time. Let me see if somebody's got a comment. Yeah, look, he's back.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Let me do my banners.
Feliz
And
Navidad.
I can say this. Oh, let me take this.
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
All right. We would appreciate it if before you leave tonight, you like our video. YouTube likes it when you like our video. We, of course, like it when you like our video. Share with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social networks so that we can grow the channel. And finally, if you are not already a subscriber, this would be the ideal time to click on that subscribe button. That way, and then when you see the notifications bell, ring the notifications bell. And that way, every time we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed. And as a result,
in the know.
Because there's nothing better in life, ladies and gentlemen, than being in the know. Take it from me, because I am always in the know. And I'm not humble about it.
Not in the yes.
Yeah. All right. Where do you want to go first? Do you want to see photos first? Do you want to see video first? Because we have a long video for tonight.
Let's take a quick look at the pics, because we don't have that many.
So I promised I wouldn't repeat tonight. I wouldn't do the Eunice repeat thing. So I have to tell a story. When my girls were growing up, the three youngest girls that all went to the same schools, had all the same friends, and just hung out together with all of them. And they spent a lot of time at my house. I coached some of them. But apparently over time, my girls, each of them had a reputation for what their friends called the Eunice repeat thing. And so somebody would say something, and whichever of my girls was in that group and talking about it, they would repeat it, and they would somehow manage to get a laugh out of it. And another person that does a really good job of that is Jason, and something that has bothered Sean her entire life. By the way, Sean is going to be celebrating her 50th birthday next week. But one thing that has bugged Sean her entire life is that she aspires to be a great teller of jokes. And it always bothered her that she would tell a joke in the presence of Jason, tell a joke, and she would get a moderate laugh. Then Jason would take exactly the same joke, tell it again, and get a rip-roarious laugh, which I've always thought was funny. But it became the Eunice repeat thing, and I imagine that they must have got it from me because I do a lot of it. I do a lot of, I repeat a lot of the things that Shelley says in the hopes that somehow it'll get a bigger laugh. I don't know. It's not really a laughing.
Gains importance when you tell it twice.
Is that what it is? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, let's take a look at photographs now from the Turquoise Trail, which is along New Mexico Route 14 from Tijeras to Santa Fe. And it is famous and infamous. And what makes it famous is that it has a lot of interesting history behind it. And what makes it infamous, it has a lot of interesting history behind it. And we decided to take that tour. We had plans to go to another location. We were planning to go to El Morro, which is west of us. Is that right? West of us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't seem to get my directions correct.
You said it was out by Grants. Grants is west.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And the problem was that as I was watching the weather, because that's my responsibility to kind of select the locations that we're going to, it got progressively colder and windier. So on the day that we had available to us, which was Monday, by that time, it was down to 37 degrees with 17-mile-an-hour winds for a wind chill of 23. And we had to do there are two trails. One is a half-mile trail and the other is a little bit longer. It's 1.2, and they're both very important. The 1.2-mile trail, it takes you up to the top of a mesa, a bluff, as they call it. They don't use the word mesa. I'm not sure why. I'm going to have to ask a ranger what the difference is. But I thought climbing a bluff in 17-mile-an-hour winds in 37 degrees is not going to be pleasant for anybody, especially my good friend here, and I didn't want to put her through that. So we decided to do the Turquoise Trail. The temperature was warmer here in our area, and it wasn't quite as windy, and so when we got out, it was never quite as bad. And it was very different for us. We took kind of a different angle on this. Instead of going one place and spending the entire day there, we literally traveled a route, and we had several stop-offs, and each one had its own little story to go with it. Really enjoyed it. The problem is, well, I don't know necessarily that it's a problem, but it produced a 50-minute long video. So you're going to have to sit with us for that today. Let me go to the comments here. Okay, so let's go to pictures first and take a look at them. One of the things that we wanted to do was stop by and take a visit and take some pictures to and this is not St. Francis, this is San Francisco de Asís, Catholic Church in Golden, Colorado. And the funny part was they told us it was on the north end of town. So we got to the sign that said Golden, and then we drove for about another
minute.
Not even that. I feel like it was a minute at the most, and we were outside of the town of Golden, and north would have been at the outside. And we go like, I didn't see it. Did you? So we had to do a U-turn in the middle of the trip and come back to actually find where the church was located. And we were told that it was closed. And that the locals were very sensitive to visitors because they had some vandalism of the church. But we got there and the main gate was open. The church was locked and closed. It's only open once a week on Saturdays for afternoon mass. So I may go back because I've seen pictures of the interior, and I'd like to, if I have to go back to mass in order to get pictures of the interior, I think I'll do that. So this is the front gate. It's a little tiny, literally one-lane dirt road that goes to the top of the hill where the church is. But it's all the rework was done by local people who volunteered their time to do the work to renovate, not re-renovate, but renovate the church. It has a cemetery out front. Some of the so the church was erected in 1839.
Something like that.
Yeah, 1839. And so there were tombstones in the churchyard that went back to that period. There were some that were more decorative than others. But it was very, it was kind of a classical old style New Mexican church that you would find up north someplace. And then, of course, in the background, those are the how do Californians say?
San Pedro.
San Pedro. Put your microphone up so I don't have to. There we go. There we go.
San Pedro.
Yeah, now I can hear it. San Pedro Mountains in the background, who at one point was the source of what was then $2 million worth of gold. And that's why it was so popular at the time. So a lot of the reason Route 14 exists is due to mining for minerals: gold, silver, lead, and coal. Is coal a mineral?
Yeah.
Is it? And that's what made it famous. And the first finds were made around that period, 1839, 1840. There was a second find that was a little bit bigger in 1879, but then it dwindled out. And as a result, all the people, you made a comment in the video, and I can't remember it now, but you said that at one point, was it Madrid that was bigger than Albuquerque?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the result of the influx of miners mining gold and other minerals in the area. Now, I know there's still gold up there because I once went to a couple of the Albuquerque Gold Club meetings, and they still have active claims up there. Now, it's all dirt mining. There's no water up there, so you can't do like a washout. So they have these machines that actually toss the dirt around inside of them. They have these canvas sheets in them, and they turn them by hand, and that's how they process the dirt. But I've taken my grandchildren. If you go to almost any dry wash in this area or in the Galisteo Basin, and you take I don't imagine a 5-gallon bucket, but if you took a small bucket of sand from the dry washes and you pan that, you clean it with a pan, you'll find flakes of gold in there in almost every case. Not a lot of them. It's not anything to make you rich, but you will find gold flakes up there. And that's how it was. It was what they call placer gold. It wasn't in veins. It was broken down from the mountains, and you can see those mountains are well worn in the background. It was broken down from the mountains and ended up in the river valleys and the places where rainwater would flow and into the washes. But again, it never produced enough water to make a running river in the area. The Galisteo is still the same way. Now, way back when, before the 1800s, there was a point in time in the early around 1000 where the native population was growing around the Galisteo Basin and the Puebloan population, and it had running water back then, but not now. So let's see what else. That's kind of my best shot of the church. I really like that we had a beautiful full blue sky day, and it just shows up here against that white and tan church against the blue sky and the mountains in the background. So this is the gate going from the inside to the outside. Oh, this is a video. I forgot. It doesn't show it. Doesn't do it justice. I think this is actually in the. It's actually in today's short. No, it's not a short. It's not very stable. I shot it with my smartphone once I realized it required a little bit of video. This is well, you tell them. Oops, that's the wrong one.
The Mine Shaft Tavern in Madrid, where we had lunch and took a picture of ourselves.
Us, a selfie.
An Ussie.
An Ussie.
Yeah. And then somebody else wanted to take a picture of us with the colorful lights.
Yeah, there were lights on the stage, and I'm not sure what the difference was. Oh, I didn't rotate this. That's too bad. Wait a minute. Can I just done here?
And we glued our food on the side of the wall there.
I had the Wagyu burger with blue cheese and green chili, and Shelley had the barbecue brisket. So they were both very good. Good fries. They were those kind of fries that they don't peel the potato. They just put it through the fry cutter and fry them with the skin on. And I've always liked those. They're very good. So good meal. Very friendly people. We enjoyed it. They had a little place where you could take children's pictures set up, and they happened to open the doors when we did it. So we thought we'd go in there and at least take Shelley in there, although she's not a child. She's a full-grown adult, and she's cute. So This is looking down the street in Madrid, and it's very busy for,
Well, the
small
town,
town. It's got a lot of
that
stuff going on.
road is the main road
Yeah,
to go
from Santa Fe.
from one place to the other.
Yeah.
It goes right through the center of town.
Now, I'm sure there was a point at which the people that lived here on older transportation never thought that they could either live here and work in, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They could live here and work either in Santa Fe or Albuquerque. But today's, I'm sure there are commuters even from here. The two early communities, the first communities, Cedar Crest and San Antonito, which are within 5 miles of I-25. Those are basically bedroom communities, with developed housing and golf courses and things like that. So they're basically those are commuters. And then as you get closer to Santa Fe, like at Cerrillos and Galisteo, those folks commute to Santa Fe because that's where our state government is. So a lot of them are state government employees.
GPS.
GPS. I wanted to make a point here, and I made it in the video as well, so I won't spend a long time doing it here. But if you're traveling in New Mexico, there are locations where there is no cell service. And so if you're expecting that Siri is going to give you directions, the only thing that you're going to get from Siri is
just a sec,
working on it. And then she goes, "Oh, I've got it, but I can't give you any information while you're driving." So she gets pretty sticky wicket when you're out there. And so the past couple of trips, this is not a new GPS machine. It's an old one, actually. GPS machine. Well, I sound like my
it's a Garmin.
A Garmin. And I've had it for years. I update it annually, with the new data that they'll provide you. All you have to do is download the new data. But it relies on satellites and not cellular systems. So it's always in view of satellites. And it becomes very trustworthy when you're traveling in areas where you literally don't have any cellular communication. And we were on a couple of back roads, dirt roads this time, where we didn't have cellular service, so we couldn't make decisions. I didn't have it up to begin with, but I became convinced, as you'll hear in the video, that that's something we're going to do from now on. Just make it part of the equip. We did go to Lamy or Lamy, depending on how you learned it. Most of the people around here call it Lamy. It's the train stop where I got off after my trip from New Orleans. And it hasn't changed much, except that the boarding, what do they call that area where you board the trains? They actually have platform. The boarding platform used to be wood, and now it's brick. And they were having an event there that day that we went. Again, you'll see it in the video. That train, is that it right there? So they had a train, they have a service that goes between Lamy and Santa Fe, and it's skyrail.com. And they have these special trains that go between Lamy and Santa Fe and vice versa. So if you're leaving Santa Fe, you come out to Lamy and you can have brunch at the
restaurant there, which is in the next picture.
Legal, is it? Okay. You can have brunch at the Legal Tender. And then take the railroad back to Santa Fe. So it's very cool. It goes through some nice areas of New Mexico, not quite northern New Mexico, but again, effectively you're going to be going through the Galisteo Basin. So nice pictures. We enjoyed the location. It was a lot of fun. Let me see. I guess we can go straight to video. What do you think?
I think it's time.
You want to? Okay. Yeah. This is a 50-minute video, so we're going to be here for a while.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
Oh, well, good.
It'll be new to me.
You can kibitz.
I will, but you can count on that.
Ready? Here we go. Was that the 720 p.m.?
Hi, it's Shelley and Toby. Today we're going to be taking a drive on the Turquoise Trail. It's called the Turquoise Trail because people found turquoise in the hills in this area, especially in Cerrillos. We're going to go through Cedar Crest and Golden, where they found some gold. Not a lot, but some. And what's after that? Madrid, where people lived who mined coal. They had a high quality coal in the area that they mined. It was very popular during the time of Thomas Edison. And then we'll head on up towards Cerrillos, where they mined for turquoise, and then up into Galisteo.
So this particular route 14, is actually a national scenic byway. You might have seen it on that sign back there. We're going to be going through 3 mountain ranges. We're going through the foothills of the Sandias right now. The Sandias, when you look at it from our side, from the Albuquerque side, are the rough cliffs and ridges that were formed by the Rio Grande Rift a million years ago. The east side here is more normalized. It has foothills and then the mountains themselves, and you don't know there's cliffs until you actually get up to the crest, Sandia Crest. And then we're going to go through the San Pedros, which were the ones where gold was discovered. And then we're going to go through the Ortiz Mountains, which has a lot of other minerals, plus it has an area that has been mined by the Native American population, including the ancient Puebloans, since about 7,500 BC. That's 7,500 BC. So we're going through, or BC, before the Common Era, right? And so we're going to go through some interesting sites. We're in Cedar Crest right now, and Cedar Crest is basically a bedroom suburb of Albuquerque. Most of the people that live here commuted to Albuquerque for their jobs.
It's in the foothills on the east side of the Sandia Mountains.
Right. And the other thing about this area is they get more snow than we do. For some reason, the east side of the mountains get more snow than we do in Albuquerque.
Well, that's often the case when you have mountains.
That works.
The weather drops on one side or the
Gets
other
bigger.
more often.
Yeah.
And here it's the east side.
And then I do want to make a couple of stops. There's a couple of places in Madrid. By the way, they don't pronounce Madrid here like the Spanish do, Madrid. They pronounce it with emphasis on the first syllable, so it comes out Madrid. And if you say Madrid when you're in Madrid, they will let you know that you're pronouncing it incorrectly. Also, I want to stop at the Cerrillos Hills State Park. It is one of the newer of our parks, and the Cerrillos Hills basically is a hiking area. But I do want to go up, I think, to one of the tops of the hills to get our time lapse today. So there's a lot to see in this area, and it's a beautiful drive. It's especially pretty in the spring and fall, but what we have is winter, and the weather around here
There's still a lot of evergreen trees, though, so
yeah,
you're going to get a lot of green.
Yeah, we're going to get the once we get into the basin, we're going to get the stunted pinon and juniper that pretty much make up New Mexico's forests in this area.
We're hoping to see some Christmas decorations in Madrid. They used to be famous for the Christmas lights in their town because they had so much coal production there. They were one of the first towns to get fully electric, and they even had electric lights at their baseball field, and they would really decorate up for Christmas. And apparently when flights were coming into Albuquerque, they would fly over Madrid to see the Christmas lights. They were that famous. So we're looking forward to going through Madrid. Now, they did sell the town, basically sold the town, or they sold off a lot of it when coal production stopped, and it was sold to a lot of artists, so it's supposed to be a very artsy town as well. And I know there's a museum there, mm-hmm. So we may take a pit stop there in Madrid.
What was interesting about the sale, as Shelley mentioned, is there was a point at which they were selling all of the property, all the mining, all the houses, everything, for one fixed price of $250,000. And I think that was in the early 70s, and nobody took them up. It's one of those things where if you'd had the $250,000, you'd be a multimillionaire today. And then eventually they broke up the plots of land and they sold it, but they were houses that required work in order to live in, so it attracted the kind of arts and music community. And that's
What was that?
it's telling me that I'm about to run into one of those.
Oh, it's getting nervous.
Yeah, it's getting nervous about my
Lots
driving.
of construction here.
Yeah. So we'll be through the construction. It looks like they're widening this area even
Covered
further.
up our sign, Turquoise Trail. Well, that's the campground and RV park. But that's okay. We know we're on the Turquoise Trail.
We're on the correct Turquoise Trail, yeah. So we will talk to you as we get closer to each of the major areas. We'll make a decision about whether it's worth a stop. Now, the only problem with this area is, unlike a lot of the other areas that we've been in that are mostly public land, most of the land along this route is private land. So it might be...
There's a little bit of snow.
Pardon?
There's a little bit of snow in the shade.
Yeah. So it might be hard to get some drone shots, but I know once we get to the Galisteo Basin, we can do that. So
You may also see the roads are kind of white. They must have salted them.
yeah, they've had
Recently.
snow. Our friend Rosalinda lives on this side, and she's constantly posting videos and pictures of snow on the east side on her Instagram account. So they have had snow. You can probably see the salting on the highway.
Yep. Our highway was assaulted.
34648 said, Harbor Freight, you deserve a gift that
Right
keeps
in there.
giving. Inside Track Club memberships offer a whole year of discounts. Join now, link to HF Tools.
Apparently, we're being sponsored by Harbor Freight today.
This shows, thankfully, they didn't play any music in the background. So
Oh, must be. Yep, there it is on the
right there.
east side of the road. A blue sign there.
All right, so we passed through Golden very, very quickly, if this is on the north side of town, and we missed the turn to the church. So it's up a tiny little road here, and we made a U-turn. Now,
We missed the road.
sorry.
Because you were
Let's
looking out
see.
the other way.
Oh, the gates
I
are
don't remember
open.
what you were looking at. Ruins or something.
Not quite four-wheeling.
Oh yeah,
but-
those mining roads. I was, yeah.
Okay, we're going to stop here and go get a photo of this church, all right? You want to stay in the car?
Picks up all the crunchy crunchies.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what that was.
Your cell phone
That also picks up the winds. Yeah.
picks up the wind. When was the church built? 1839? 1830 something. $1938.
So U-turn was worth it. Got my shots of the St. Francis of Assisi Church, and we're going to get back headed north again. So
Built in 1839.
Oh,
Aha! And it's got a little cemetery over there.
it has inside too. So you'll see the pictures on the video when we do this. So, all right, we're going to head back north. So we happen to be going through one of the mountain passes on the San Pedro's, and we're stuck behind a backhoe and the truck that's protecting the backhoe. And there's not a lot of places to pass here, so it requires a lot of
Patience.
Patience, I guess is patience is the right word. Although I guess
Enjoy
I can
the
go now.
scenery, people.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Next, snapping
Did that.
acceleration.
Just made the no passing zone there. All right, so we're coming up to. We went through Golden.
That's the camera
Next
mic.
is Madrid.
So it
Right.
doesn't handle
So there's a
the
mining
looter
museum
well.
there. There's no guarantees that it's open, but if it is, we'll make a stop and do a little inside quick tour of it. Okay.
You actually told me.
I want to stop. As you see, there's a lot of descansos on this road because it is an active road. It's a 2-lane road and it's very turny and twisty. So you'll see a lot of the descansos on it as we go by them.
Yeah, it's a route that people on motorcycles like to take a lot. So there are signs about extreme caution, motorcycles, and that sort of thing. So it kind of makes you wonder if that is what that is. So we're going through the mountain passes in the San Pedros.
That's when I figured it out. Huh?
San Pedros Mountains, and we're just about to come up to. Is this Madrid? No?
Madrid.
Madrid.
You guys can't see them, but there's you can see all the tailings, coal mining tailings on the sides of these mountains. You might be able to catch a little bit of them. There are people still mining some of these areas. Now, a lot of Madrid is reconstructed, people coming out here and building their, I wouldn't call them vacation homes, but homes that, gets them away from the...
We had friends that lived out here. I don't know if they still do. Linda McDill and Steve
Oh, yeah.
lived in
Gosh.
Madrid.
That was
Because they worked in Santa Fe when they went off to work. They were Encore entrepreneurs, so they worked mostly from home, but sometimes they go to Santa Fe. And this is the back route to Santa Fe.
what was that?
There we go.
That was going over a rough area.
With a speed
Again,
limit of
we
20
didn't have
miles
a
an hour.
Microphone.
And
Thought we
see if
plugged it in by
can
now.
find that museum. It's supposed to have a train engine in front of it or something. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
So as you'll see, these are all the reconstructed homes, the wooden homes that were sold in small plots that people purchased and then rebuilt, reconstructed. And there's a lot of art and craft people who purchased it and built their little studios, etc., etc.
They sold for between $1,000 and $2,000
off jewelry sale.
In the
Oh
70s.
boy.
in the 70s.
They have turquoise. Being that they're in the
Still pretty
turquoise
cheap.
trail here.
I'll bet.
This is downtown Madrid.
So as you can see, it's a little bit busier than Golden. And
They have everything right
Got
up
the
against
shoes
main
hanging on the
road.
line there.
so I think we're going to stop at one of these places. We might have to do another turnaround. There's the theater, and I think that's where the museum is, right there.
Uh-huh. Yep, there's the train. And the potties. Okay, Old Coal Town Museum.
Okay, so we will take a walk up here and see if there's, let's see.
Truck up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a quick walk around, see what's going on.
All right, and
Oh,
we'll get
look, it's the Mad Reefer Dispensary.
Mad Reefer. Get it? Okay, we'll be back to you in a bit.
Okay.
So that's the road, State Route 14, looking north through Madrid, and a little place across the street. Looks like if we wanted to get something to eat, there is the Mineshaft Tavern over there, which I don't know whether or not it's open. I did. That's Miss Shelley right there.
Mad Reefer.
A Mad Reefer dispensary. Why do they call them
Big steps.
dispensaries?
There's a way to get up here if you want to park, I guess.
I don't know what that legal term means. Must mean something because they all use it.
That's
It's too bad we're not driving through here at nighttime. We could see some of these.
Santa Claus waving at everybody.
I guess I have to wonder whether or not the.
I noticed I do a lot of not finishing
Museum
my
is open?
sentences.
You do.
No, it looks like there's a lot.
The cool
Museum
car
open?
under that little
No, sir, it's
plastic.
not. We're under construction.
Oh,
Next
okay.
spring.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Should be something about on Facebook.
All right. What's open down this direction?
We have the Cantina, which is a indoor-outdoor restaurant up here with the bar, and that's through those doors off the balcony, off the deck.
Got it.
And you can also go to the tavern, which is the big building in the front near where that food truck is unloading. There's another restaurant down there that's more contemporary and quaint.
And are they open and serving?
I do believe. Cantina is in 15 minutes. I think they open at 1 in the winter. The tavern is open right now down below. There's a fireplace.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. All right. So, the museum, as the gentleman said, I promised Shelley I wouldn't repeat things, but is under construction.
But I'm going
But
to.
you do anyway.
Yeah.
There's the train.
So the book mentioned that Madrid went all out when it did its decorations. So they've even decorated the old steam locomotive here.
Oh, 769.
Oh yeah. So it's probably too cold for eating and enjoying music outdoors. Let's go downstairs here. Oh, there's a deck that enters into the first restaurant. Let's go to the Mine Shaft Tavern, was it? There it is over there. So there's another place there called the Holler Food and Drink. Seems to have a very nice little bunch of cars parked out front for a Monday. So these towns along 14 are very active on weekends. But honestly, as you can see, we're seeing a lot of traffic through here and a lot of spaces used up, parking spaces used up. Pardon? Where?
Spin all the way around.
Apparently that's a thing.
The thing there.
It's probably one of those things where if you've lived there longer than 10 years, they toss your shoes up.
Okay. It's Mine Shaft Tavern.
The MST. Mountain Standard Time.
Bathrooms.
Photo booth there.
Hi, fine, thanks. Is that okay? Yeah, we're happy to wait. Are you serving lunch by any chance? Great.
You see the cute little photo booth they have? Christmas kids.
Fun little photo booth for the kids. You guys like to shoot pool? Got a pool table here. The lighting is very forgiving. We're getting a
It wasn't that forgiving. The camera
Thank you.
was having trouble maintaining stability.
yes, please. Is there something near the fireplace? Is there a fireplace? Oh, okay, all right. Thanks, I appreciate it. All right, as usual, we're not going to make you guys watch us eat, so I'm going to turn you off now. But let me give you one last view of the tavern.
Dinner or lunch?
Lunch. Both.
There we are. Photo booth.
Great lunch at the Mine Shaft Tavern. Shelley had the barbecue brisket sandwich, and I had the Wagyu hamburger with blue cheese and green chili. Oh,
So what
what a
kind of an
combo.
animal is a Wagyu?
So,
It's a cow.
Dessert to go because we heard how good it was.
yeah.
Are you being
What was
facetious?
the dessert that we got?
It's chocolate Kahlua cake or something like that.
Mm.
Most
How was it?
chocolate Kahlua.
We had both eaten a
good.
late breakfast, so we only
Sweet.
finished half our meal. Certainly
had
no room
like
for
a
dessert. We saved that for
strip
later.
of kind of a caramel
Yeah.
crunch in the middle,
So
and I got
they mentioned
Oreo
there were some
cookie
shops down
crust.
the street
Yeah,
here,
I
so
had to-
we're going to
I
head in that
felt like
direction.
if I do that, I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel.
KMRD,
Where do you see that?
right there.
Oh, Madrid.
Radio station. At one point in time, they say that Madrid was bigger than Albuquerque.
I saw that. Yeah. So we're going to go in and look at one of these shops. It's called
Do you
Gifted
put your
Hands.
coleslaw
I'm
on
going to
top of your
assume that
brisket?
it's
I did not.
local
Kept them
craftspeople.
separate. Didn't want to have a messy sandwich.
Oh, I need to go get my feather.
Masks appreciated. I have some in the truck if you want to wear one.
Get that off your foot before you trip on it.
Pardon? So the reason I'm looking at this right here is because I have that tomahawk that I got, and part of it was the feather had been, I don't know if it's worn down or worn out or whatever, but I could use it to replace that feather.
See, there's a stone tomahawk.
Oh, yeah.
Hi there. So that was an interesting story. It was all local craftspeople. And I was able to find a feather decoration that will replace the one that's pretty beat up on my tomahawk. So,
They had a couple of tomahawks in there too.
oh, they did? Stone ones or metal?
Both. First room. Hats.
Bunch of cowboy hats over there. This is a cowboy hat kind of town. So this is one of the houses that were made for the miners or the mine supervisors. And you can see that it looks weathered and worn, but the people that have purchased it have taken the opportunity to, it's not
Not
a
this one
rebuild,
as
it's
much as
what,
the-
restore. And they live here. On the other side, we have an ice cream shop, a soda fountain, a cafe, another gift shop.
No sidewalks.
That's
See,
sidewalk.
so here's one that has been restored. So those two are the same buildings, right? And so this one, they put the work into resheeting the roof and painting, and so it has a better restoration job. So this is the studio that the lady, our waitress, recommended, Alchemy.
Contemporary works by women.
Oh,
This was one of the places that she told us, and then the Range West was the other place she mentioned.
the Range West over there.
Yep, she
Well,
said
let's go in. I'm going to turn off my
Range
camera
West.
because these guys are going to get nervous with me. So there's another diner called Maggie's,
Maggie's.
or Wild Hog Maggie's, or Main Street Diner. So they've turned it into, from an old coal mining town.
Silver west of the Pecos. Cerrillos Turquoise. Guess we have to go in there.
Well,
Except
it's
it
got
was
silver and
closed.
turquoise. I think that's worth stopping.
Watch the steps.
Oh, it's closed. So this would be interesting. So they list a lot of stones. Cheapest silver west of the Pecos.
Well, Madrid's a fun little town to visit, especially around Christmas time, I think, if you're looking for nice little gifties for people. Got lots of little shops. And it's got that nice little restaurant, you know, you can have lunch. It's a great thing to do on a weekend or during the week if you're not working, you know. Just take the Turquoise Trail and stop in Madrid for a little lunch and
Lunch.
shopping.
So I just went by, and it was further down from where we stopped, and it's called the Photo Gallery, and it's a bunch of paintings with the holes where you put your face
Oh, yeah.
thing. There's the infamous lighted baseball diamond
Oh, yeah.
over to one side. They still play ball there. They used to have like a summer league
Yeah.
with all the people that lived in the area. So now we're going to go over the Ortiz Mountains, and you'll see us going through this pass, and we're going to drop down into the Galisteo Basin, and the next stop is going to be Los Cerrillos. And
Or Cerrillos, for those of us who
don't speak
don't speak
Spanish.
But
Well-
but we don't want to say Cerrillos because that's not right.
Nobody back there calls it Madrid either. They call it Madrid. And it was funny because I think the first time I heard it referred to as Madrid was someplace when I was in high school.
Yeah.
No reason to hear it before that. And I remember correcting the person. Like, no, it's Madrid.
That's Spain.
Madrid.
This is
Anyway,
Spain.
yeah, it
They
is. in
probably
Spain.
said that.
So we're going to drop into the Galisteo Basin. We're going to go to Cerrillos.
Probably left it.
And we're going to stop.
Cerrillos.
We're going to stop at the Cerrillos Hills State Park. We want to visit that. They do have a visitor center. We're going to try for a time lapse on top of the hill
Oh.
with these beautiful skies.
We
I
could
wish-
eat our dessert while we do the time lapse.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah. And there was something else I wanted to do while we were there.
In Cerrillos.
Cerrillos.
Go to the visitor center, probably.
I'll
We
remember
need
once
to
we
look at
get
the
there.
books. Well, let's
Yeah,
look
we might
at
have to look at the books. Oh, why don't you share that?
Made me think.
Tell folks which books we're referring to today.
So today we're using the Scenic Driving New Mexico, Exploring the State's Most Spectacular Back Roads by Lawrence Parent, and Detour New Mexico, Historic Destinations and Natural Wonders by Arthur Pike and David Pike. And they both talk about the Turquoise Trail.
Right.
Turquoise Trail is, I think it's a nationally recognized route.
That is, it's a national scenic byway.
There you go.
Oh, look at that Trojan horse up there.
Fancy.
Very cool.
Out there amongst all the wires. Wonder if that attracts lightning.
So there are still a lot of little houses along this area, but again, it's private property. And I would be hesitant to fly the drone over private property. It's just a risk too far. Now, I will tell you that you do have the right to fly in airspace protected by the Federal Aviation Administration up to 400 feet in altitude. But if you fly over private property, which you have a right to do, you could get yourself in trouble with privacy rights and ownership rights because they'll make a claim. So, but anyway, we're going to be hitting Cerrillos here in just a little bit, and then we'll be in the Galisteo Basin. And
Well, maybe while we're doing the time lapse, you can do a drone shot from the park.
oh, that's a good one. It's State Park, so yeah, I could.
There you go.
Oh, we had such big dreams.
All right, we're going to turn off here. I'm going to leave the outside camera on. Think about it. Anyway, so we're headed in on Cerrillos' Main Street. The Main Street of Cerrillos. When we get to First Street, which runs
It's like
perpendicular
psoriasis.
to Main Street,
It's a possessive
we're
of
going to
cereals.
turn right.
Well, I don't see anything highlighted in here, but
All right, maybe
maybe
it was
it's in
just
this other book.
maybe because the state park is up in those hills over there. Okay, here we are in
Look at this
Cerrillos.
other
Small
book.
town. And here's First Street. Let's see if they actually have a sign. Now, this Route 57, there it is.
Another
Cerrillos Hills
unfinished
State Park.
sentence.
Mining Museum, Petting Zoo, Trading Post, Studios, Broken Saddle,
Okay.
First River
We've got
Gallery,
the Cerrillos Hills State Park
which is where we're going.
and the Village Vista Trail. One
Which
of
is-
a kind view of Cerrillos is an easy hike. And then it talks about the Galisteo Basin after that. So
Uh,
it's either, it must be the hike. you're
oh,
thinking of.
Lamy. Lamy is here.
Lamy is here.
Well, Lamy, the train stop. The remember when I came back from?
Lamy is here? This is Lamy?
Well,
this isn't Lamy.
it
This is Cerrillos.
it is Cerrillos, but the train stop is called Lamy.
But I thought there was a town around it called Lamy.
I kind of don't remember that, but let me see. We'll ask the lady at the state park. That's the other thing I wanted to get to,
The state park.
the Lamy train station, because there's memories. Memories.
See, the village
Those
of
kinda look so-
Lamy.
Oh.
Lamy's a village.
Okay, I don't know how much of that, guys, you could see because my camera sticky tab fell over and I was pointing downwards. Ugh, look at that cool panel truck, man. With just the right amount of patina. Okay, so
Taking
now
a
we
rest.
turn onto dirt road. State Park is in this
The
direction.
village of Lamy, or Lamy, began when the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad reached here in 1880. So it's a village. It's not here. It's not just a train stop. It's actually a village.
Don't want to run over the horse poop. Road apples. Don't want to watch out for them road apples.
When it talks about the El Ortiz Hotel.
In Lamy.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling up the dirt road here.
Where are we going?
We're going to the
I
Cerrillos
look up
Hills
from reading a
State
book and we're
Park
out in the middle of
Visitor
nowhere.
Center.
It's on a dirt road, I see. I was confused. I didn't realize we had to go on a dirt road to get there.
So
Now I
those
know.
self-pay station on the left, we don't have to pay because we have a pass.
Park pass.
So we just hit the end of the dirt road. It stopped at a gate that protected some
Back to
private
the book.
property. So we're going to head back down somewhere along the line. I guess I'm guessing that the visitor center is in the town of Cerrillos, in the village of Cerrillos. But it does mention a visitor center in both books, and I looked for it online because it is a state park, so it does have a state park entry on the state park's website, and so we're going to head back into Cerrillos and see if it's someplace there. If I missed, I must have missed a sign. I kept following the signs towards the actual, state park location, which we passed, where all the trails are. But I'm guessing that the visitor center is somewhere back in Cerrillos, so we're going to head back in that direction. The State Park Visitor Center is back in Cerrillos, and it's Cerrillos, and it's at 37 Main Street. So instead of making the right turn on First to head up to where the park is, just keep going straight, and it's about another, I don't
See
know,
the picture of the donkeys and it's across the street.
it's another 50 yards. Nice brown building. So we're going to go in there now, all right? Okay. So we found it, but it's closed.
Well, you're wearing jeans.
Yeah, I do. But you don't.
I do not.
You do now.
So it's only open from 10 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays.
Peek it in the window.
Got one.
Suddenly.
Well, as usual, it's a very good-looking New Mexico State Park. It's got some picnic tables. Another entrance here. Some more here. Looks like a place for conducting events
Storytelling.
here. Bathrooms are probably on the inside, huh? Bike rack. Oh, yeah, over there's a couple of porta potties. Well, I think what we're going to do from here is go see if we can find the village of, or the Lamy train stop. So I guess I should mention that we are in the Galisteo Basin, and that all those dry riverbeds that I keep crossing at one time had water in them. They were natural rivers, and because of that, there were tribes, ancient pueblos, that were established here. And I guess I should point out to you that for those of you that are Forrest Fenn fans, that one of those pueblos was San Lazaro, and it's in that direction. It's still out there. After it was excavated by Fenn, it was taken over by someone else, and there are excavations going on there, but it's on private property, so you can't get on there without permission. But that's all part of this territory that's the Galisteo Basin, and at one time contained, I want to say, dozens of tribal locations, of pueblos, that had, in each case, hundreds and sometimes thousands of people. So this was a big area. And then when the Spanish moved in, and the droughts came, and I think we've been in one long drought since then, basically, because the only time these rivers fill, these arroyos fill, is when we have a heavy rainstorm up in the mountains. So thought you might want to know that. Here's a recommendation. I don't want to call it advice because everybody has their own
And
thing.
even made it into the scene.
I'm going to recommend that if you're hitting the back roads of New Mexico, and maybe it's true
This
if
is
you're hitting
before
the
you
back
knocked
roads
it off
of
the
any place, that you buy a Garmin, or I don't know, is Magellan still in business? GPS, and put that on your window, unless your car has access to it. Because I think, and what we discovered today, is that if you rely on your phone's mapping systems and you've got that connected to your car, there is a chance you're going to lose cellular signal. And when you lose cellular signal, you lose mapping services. So,
And then you have
with
to
a
go
GPS
an extra 16 miles.
pardon me?
And then Siri just gets stupid.
Yeah,
Tells
she
her, I
really-
can't look anything up on the internet.
Yeah, she gets kind of wise guy about it. I can't
Like
look up
she's a
anything on the
person.
internet while you're driving, is what she says.
Like she's a
Which
stubborn teenager.
doesn't make sense at all if you're,
You're
trying
not
to get
connected
mapping.
to the internet. That's another good one.
So, the reason I recommend having a GPS is because it doesn't rely upon a cellular signal. It relies upon a satellite signal, and for the most part, because of the GPS system, you're always in range of at least 3 satellites, which is all you need to triangulate your location and actually your altitude as well. So, look
and this
into it.
particular trip, we're using it.
Yeah, we had to. I mean, there was a point at which we simply ran out of cellular service. And that happened to us the last time as well. So, strong recommendation. Not advice, but if you're doing some back roads traveling, make sure you carry your GPS with you. And this one, the one that I'm using right now, is probably, I don't know, at least 5, probably more like 10 years old. But every year I put it online. Pardon?
At least.
Yeah. I mean, how long have we been using it? We used to use it when we did the Forrest Fenn.
Oh, yeah, before
months.
that, even, I'm sure.
And all you do every year is you sign on to, in this case, Garmin, and you do an update, and the updates are free. So
Curve ahead.
it's telling me, and it even gives me road advice. So anyway, suggestion. Goodbye. So we just crossed over the tracks again, and we've got a right turn up here, and I don't think we're far from, oh, there's a sign that says Lamy with the
and the train.
train station
Trammy.
sign.
We'll just call it Trammy. We're going to ship it.
Train station, what are those images called? They're not signs, they're not avatars, they're
Icon.
symbols?
Icon.
Icon. So we're almost there.
Okay. Why is he out here directing
There.
traffic? There's that much traffic?
Sir, how you doing?
Why are you directing traffic? What's going on?
Every time we have a train like that, somebody has to be out here.
Is there a train coming in?
It's a train gonna leave here soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That train?
Yes. It's separate from the Amtrak.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Well, good timing there.
I always think it helps when you sound like a
Must be like
10-year-old.
Christmas train or something. I don't know.
All right, guys. So we're here. We're at the train station, and there's a train sitting there literally in front of the car, as you can probably see in the front camera, and they're about to leave, which is what we were just told. So how do we want to do this? All right, I'm going to take the inside camera and take it outside and leave the outside camera on and leave Shelley in charge of that.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to leave Shelley in the car, watch the front camera, and I'm going to go do some shooting. There goes the engineer getting in the train. I wonder if I can cross this thing yet. So the reason I want you guys to see this is that this is the train station that I came back to when I came back from New Orleans. And I remember coming back to this train station when I went to visit my uncle in Minneapolis. And I've got some pictures of that. Hey,
I hadn't heard that
are
story.
you an official? Or are you just
Yes,
what?
I'm an official.
Official of what?
Sky Railway.
Oh, okay. Can I go across
Railway.
over there?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. So that's the train that's about to leave.
Official.
Mr. Friendly.
And
He
this is the
looked
train
super
station.
official, didn't he?
And back in the olden days, meaning
Back
when
in
I was
my
a kid,
Back in my day.
this was wood. I'm not going to take you out in the sunlight because it's just going to block that.
And then what do I do?
But that's
Oh.
the train tracks, and it's still active.
Amtrak.
And I don't know if the train station is open. Can we go in the train station? Yeah, there's a waiting room. There's the free Wi-Fi. It's very stylish, very old-fashioned. Looks like it hasn't changed
Well,
in
which
decades.
is it? Stylish or old-fashioned?
That's kind of stylish and old-fashioned. Oh, look at that.
It's an
ceiling
old-fashioned
fans.
style. Huh?
I wonder if Shelley wants to come in and just take a look at it.
I was going to go out that back door and it said fire exit only or something.
So this train station is serviced by Amtrak, which means that if you wanted to get from here to any place else, you can do that. I have a very good friend of mine that lives in Albuquerque that takes the train to the West Coast all the time. And so she's out here or passes through here. In order to do that, there's some picnic tables over there.
In order to do that, there's some picnic tables over
It
there.
was actually two different thoughts.
Yeah.
So this train represents
That's how
something
my
else.
brain
This
works.
isn't
Just
an
1,000 things going on at
Amtrak
one
train.
time.
We'll get a closer look at it. And the camera on the front of the truck is on, so.
What's
What
this
is
called?
the Santa Fe Adventure Train?
Sky Railway. It's a tourist train that runs between Santa Fe and Lamy, New Mexico, which is here.
Uh-huh.
And we do theme rides. Currently, we're doing a holiday special.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, we have more excursions scattered out throughout the year if you're interested.
I'll look you up. Can I find you online?
Oh, yeah.
Skyrailway.com.
Right.
And so when they go to Santa Fe, do you take them to Santa Fe and they come back?
We have trains running from Lamy to a halfway stop and back again. We have trains from Santa Fe to a halfway stop and back again. And then we have some that go all the way.
Oh.
It just depends on which excursion you want.
So if I wanted to do an excursion that went from Lamy to Santa Fe and back, how much is that?
It
He's not the
depends on
internet.
the
He's
excursion
not
you're
Siri.
taking.
Oh, I
The
see.
brunch trains, I find, run from Santa Fe to Lamy and back again. Usually comes with the brunch at the Legal Tender restaurant right over there.
Oh.
Oh,
So the Legal Tender, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So the Legal Tender restaurant is a well-regarded restaurant. It was one of the old mining town restaurants when this serviced the mines, and then it was purchased by a gentleman who was rich, and they turned it into the Legal Tender.
The legal what?
So this is the excursion train that he was talking about that goes to and from Santa Fe on special trips. And I don't know whether you can see, it's got a Christmas thing, but the picture on it is a dragon.
A Christmas thing.
A Christmas thing.
So I think I just crossed in front of our own camera. It's very cool, and I feel like I'm very close to it. And I don't know when it's taking off. I don't know if we'll wait the entire time because there's still people boarding it. It's a Christmas excursion, apparently. But they do this regularly, and that's the legal tender over there, which is a restaurant. And again, it's highly regarded. And you can do a brunch excursion from Santa Fe to Lamy to brunch, and then back to Santa Fe. We'll
He
have
called
to do
it
that
brunch.
sometime.
Oh, I thought you said lunch.
How close are you to leaving? Okay, thank you.
That's why they give them watches.
Okay,
I don't think they give them watches. I think they
let me
just
turn the
wear them.
camera around.
All right, so we're losing the light. It's the end of the day, and I think that's a wrap. The train just left. I don't know what else there is to shoot. I think it's just go to I-25 and head on home at this point. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think that's what we're going to do. So I suppose ideally what we want to do is make a recommendation. Do you guys do the Turquoise Trail or not? And the answer is yes. If all you did was go to Madrid and have lunch and go into some of the shops there, because the shops are very, very cool, expensive but cool. It would be worth the trip. You get to see an interesting part of New Mexico. And I remember last week, or was it last week, when we were headed down south from Tijeras.
I remember
and Shelley
last month. Was it
said,
last?
she was looking at the map and talking to the microphone, and she said, it's a part of New Mexico that I haven't been before.
Yeah,
And sometimes
that.
I feel like, although I've driven this route before, I've never paid attention to it, So that was an interesting trip for me. And it was good it was interesting to come back to Lamy to see, the old train station. It's still a very active train station, as you can tell.
It's all decorated up for Christmas.
Yeah. So, yeah, do it if you guys get a chance. All right? That's it for this one.
Yep.
Yep. Talk to you guys someday soon, I hope.
All right.
Yep.
So, we had a good time. So here's that Sky Railway. I put the website in the comments if you guys want to take a look at it. So they have all these different excursions. Right now, they've got 3 of them. Pablo's Holiday Train in Lamy, Santa Fe Scenic from Lamy, 2 to 2.5 hours, and then Lure of the Land from Lamy. And they have different cars. They have a cocktail car. They have a lunch bar car. Look, they have like a murder on the Lamy line.
Ooh, New Year's Eve train.
Where's that?
The last one.
Well, that would be fun, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Departs from Santa Fe, ring in the new year with a train ride in the desert. Enjoy champagne toast and live music as we celebrate the end. What the?
Yes.
2 hours. Does it say how much it is?
I don't know. I don't see a.
I wonder if they're closed up because I can't select it either. Let me see.
Maybe sold out already.
Oh, it is. Yeah. 7 p.m. New Year's train is sold out.
Train is sold out.
Shucks, we're gonna have to do that next year.
We can also look at that other train that goes through up there by Rio de los Pinos.
Rio de los Pinos. Oh, that would you freeze your butt off?
Well, you don't have to go when it's
Oh
wintertime.
no.
You can go
we
when
can
it's
we can take
summertime.
that. Yeah. Because we used to see it every time we were at the Rio de los Pinos. Oh, way up there on the damn cliff. Hell no.
Did you see any trains at the bottom of the
I didn't.
ravine?
No. I
No.
So I was going to show them something else. What was I going to show them?
I don't know. You did the photos and the
Did the
Sky
photos? Did the Sky
Railway.
Railway? So that Sky Railway, I didn't even know existed, but it looked like a lot of fun. And the place that they pick you up and let you off in Santa Fe is down by the train station.
Oh, you're
And-
going to show them your feathers.
Oh, okay. And that was that's a nicely developed area. It's got shops. There's an REI down there, and that's where Meow Wolf, the play center is. I was going to call it Cat Wolf, but that doesn't make any sense. So the reason I went into that, well, I didn't. I went into that shop because it looked interesting. But you guys remember the tomahawk that I bought from my landscaper person? One of the problems with it was that the feather that was on it, which goes along with the whole prayer bag and all that stuff, was kind of beat up, and it had sinew on it. And I was going to wait till I found another feather. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to ever have a eagle feather, but I could get a turkey feather. I have a friend that paints on turkey feathers, and I thought maybe I could get one from her. But they had this in the shop, and it's the combination of feathers, and they've been painted on using petroglyph symbology. And I don't know if you can sell an eagle feather, but it doesn't look like a turkey feather to me. So anyway, I thought I would replace the old clunky feather with this one to make my tomahawk look better. So the tomahawk needs cleaning up, but I've been told you're not supposed to restore them. You're supposed to leave them in their patina. So anyway, that's what I went into that store. And they had several variations on the theme, but I thought I liked this one best. So that's
all
what we went
bought
in
that day, other than lunch.
Yeah, we didn't. They had a lot. It was, if you're looking for Native American, they didn't have any Hispanic, which I thought was thing. So they had mostly Native American, but they included everything from Shelley said she saw tomahawks in there, and pottery and jewelry. I don't remember if she had other artists that were not Native American in there. Did you see any?
She said that she only carried Native American stuff.
Yeah, but she got sticky wicket when she saw the camera. That's why I turned it off, because she started going into the copyright spiel.
Sticky
and
wicket.
And I kind of like it when people do that, because I know more about copyright than they do. Usually, they just throw it at you like they know what they're talking about, and I know from experience they don't. But in order to make them okay, I usually turn the camera off so that they don't get ugly. And then she asked, I don't know how you got the conversation onto the topic, but she was talking about publishing a book with photos from the area, and she kept saying, I could sell the hell out of that. So
yeah.
Let's see. The Bald and Golden Eagle Protection Act and the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, these laws generally prohibit the possession, use, or sale of eagle feathers and other parts. Yeah, and that's what I'm familiar with. Although Native Americans are allowed to, because I know they use them in some of their ceremonies, especially the smoke-based ceremonies. But I couldn't imagine that they could take, even whether you were a Native American or not, and then do something like that and sell it to me. Almost
Or do you think the brown on the ends is natural, or?
They're definitely natural, but again, normally the what they use instead of eagle feathers are turkey feathers. But turkey feathers, this area up here is brown. Now
Well, there's white turkeys and there's brown
these are
turkeys, so
all-
it could have been a mix.
I mean, it's a very nicely done piece. Very, very elegantly done. Anyway, I wanted it for my tomahawk, and I got it for my tomahawk. Cost $50, but I was going to have it. Now the
feathers
thing
cost more than the tomahawk.
No, they cost me the same.
Now it's $100 one.
Yeah, it's a $100 tomahawk instead of a $50 tomahawk.
Fancy.
Okay, what else you got to share with people before we go?
Well, next week we are not going to travel anywhere because it's cold. The days are extremely short, and it's Christmas. So we next week have decided to do sort of a
a recap video where we're just going to talk about all the videos we've done up to the end of the year, and then what things we want to do in the new year, right?
A recap live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be here, but we won't have a new video for you.
Right.
What she said. I'm not gonna
Tomorrow
repeat it.
we're going to be on, I'll be on with Women Conquer Business at 11. We're going to talk about AppSumo. So if you have any interest in learning more about AppSumo, buying apps for your small business, tune into Women Conquer Business at 11. And then at 1 o'clock on Messages and Methods, Toby and I are going to be telling stories about our Christmas past and Christmas present.
Experiences as retirees.
Yeah, what retirees do for the holidays and how that's different from what other people do for the holidays, kind of basically. And so join us and share your stories with us in the chat, and we'd love to have you. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and again next week, we'll be doing a recap. Oh, and I had a show this afternoon where I talked about content consistency. So all good stuff.
Shelley Carney live stream coach.
Yes.
What are you doing next week for Shelley Carney live stream?
Recap.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You've had a big year with that, haven't you?
Well, not that. I don't. Anyway, it's going to be both the show and me, and what I've been up to and what I've done this year, and what I'm looking forward to in the new year.
So that's my yes. That's I understand. So we've had some thoughts about what to do with the old AGK channel. If you have any thoughts that do not include
want to see,
of what you would like us to do with that channel, exclusive of anything to do with the Forest Fan treasure hunt, send us an email. You can send it to gypsieskiss@gmail.com. Tell us what you think.
A Gypsy's Kiss at Gmail?
That's where they can send the email.
Oh, they could send it to AGK Media Studio. Or they could send it to NM Day Trips.
Or you could just send it to gypsieskiss@gmail.com, which you're going to remember.
Yeah, but you don't look at that account.
I have it
very
going
often.
to my, I
Yeah,
have it forwarded
you're
to
looking
my,
at it now?
Yeah.
All right.
As I am with AGK Media. That other address that we gave to Square support at AGK Media Studio, it wasn't going to my email. So I changed that last night. It's now going to mine and yours. So take that.
Aha.
That's what you get for bringing
comments.
Have comments. Yeah. Oh, they're just watching us fight. They're just watching us debate.
We don't fight.
We don't fight.
All right. That's all we have for tonight.
I think that's all
Thanks
we got,
for joining
guys.
us and sitting through a very long video with us. Let us know what you think of these mostly driving videos. Some channels, that's all they do, and people seem to like it. But if, you don't like it or you do like it, let us know.
There's one channel I've been watching, and that's why we tried it this way this time. And basically, he just finds routes and he drives them, and he talks about the drive. And he's got a camera mounted. It looks like it's mounted on his. He's got a van, and it looks like the angle says that he's mounted on the roof. And then he talks to another GoPro. It's a GoPro on the roof, and he talks to another GoPro, and all he does is talk about it. Now, he also lives in Arizona, and he travels through Utah. He just finished one of the videos for North Dakota. And honestly, it was 2.5 hours long, just driving through North Dakota. Although he did make a stop at the Lawrence Welk homestead. Who knew? Lawrence Welk, North Dakota. You guys probably, half of you don't know who Lawrence Welk was. You're not as old as me.
The bubbles.
Thanks. Golden Keenan says, thanks.
The guy
Enjoy
with
the
the
show.
bubbles.
Turn off for the bubble machine.
Bubble?
That's how he used to talk. Although he came from North Dakota, his accent was more like Minnesota.
All the way over to Minnesota?
There's actually a joke.
It's Canadian, they're close to Canada.
Yeah,
so
that's
they,
true.
they talk like
there is a
Canadians.
joke. My father used to tell a Lawrence Welk joke. Then the punchline, and this is why I remembered, the punchline was, turn off for the bubble machine. And everybody thought it was funny in the hell. I don't remember the lead up to it.
It's just
But
the punchline.
that was the punchline. I still
All
remember
right. Well, if you know the joke, email us.
it. Oh, look at these.
Let us know.
Golden Keenan says, thanks. Enjoyed the show.
All right.
John Miller says, anytime with Toby and Shelley is awesome time.
I'm going to write that into our testimonials right there.
That's a good one.
John Miller said.
And Lorraine said, has a Merry Christmas, everyone. Good show. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lorraine. Same to you. All right, guys. Don't forget. We love you.